Yo, I'm so into you. Check one, check two. Yo, I'm so into you. Check one, check two. Yo, I'm so into you. Check one, check two. Yo, I'm so into you. Check one, check two. Yo, I'm so into you. I'm here, y'all. I see you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your patience. I'm not here for long, baby, but I'm here and I'm live. Happy Thursday. Paying homage to SWV without getting a copyright infringement. I'm so into you. They're not gonna mistake me for them, so I'm gonna do. Hey. That's so weird. They say it's a Teddy. This is supposed to be the Teddy. What's his name? Wayne, your boy. He remixed this. Oh hell no! We can't have no lyrics. Let me put it on next, child. I love it here too, Flawless. Thank you for being here, love. Thank you for being here, Passion. Wow, Wayne. Yes. All right, I'm ready to get this thing going. And yeah, I got a couple things I want to talk to y'all about. As you can see, we like to I call myself, well, you know what? Shout out to Hot Rod. I don't know if he listens or is listening, but he called me the queen of info. And I was like, you know what? I'll take it. So thank you, Hot Rod. Yeah. All right. I'm ready. Let's go.
God is dawn. Like and subscribe. Comment some night. Love in this light. This God is dawn. God is dawn. God is dawn.
Ooh, peace, world, peace. Welcome back to Goddess Dawn Speaks. I am Goddess Dawn, the warrior, baby. Yes, we are fighting all types of moral crimes here on this channel, child. We done put R. Kelly where he belongs, and we are moving on out into the world, spreading our wings a little bit onto other topics. Now, sometimes it's not as deep. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we just shoot the shit. And with that being said, I'll start with, today I'm going to start with the sisters, the Scott sisters, Latasha and Tamika from Xscape. I know y'all already aware of all of the drama. I mean, it's hard to keep up with at this point, but all of the drama that's going on between Xscape. First, it was just within Xscape, and then it spread to SWV and Xscape. Now, SWV were the big sisters. They were, the mentors. They were the calm in the storm, but now they're part of the storm. Okay. So, I mean, we got Candy's cousin Akbar jumping in. And Akbar, if you know Akbar from Love and Hip Hop and all of her other shenanigans on social media, she's a big bully. So when she gets involved, you really have to be cautious because things could get real ugly. Nevertheless, SWV, Lily specifically, who was going back and forth with Akbar, they have class and decorum, okay? And they are handling things the way things should be handled, like grown women. It's really speaking up for yourself. Teddy Riley. Is it Teddy? Yeah, I think it was a Teddy Riley remix. Thank you, Wayne. Wayne, I'm gonna be throwing you some questions here and there just to make sure you hear. I'm that annoying teacher who calls on that kid who is like obviously sleeping. No, I'm kidding. But where was I at? So yeah, it's been hard to keep up with, a lot of drama. We're only 3 episodes going into 4 episodes of this thing. I think there's only going to be 8, maybe, if that. And did this event even happen, or is it going to happen? I don't think so. Remember you said that now, Wayne. But yeah, so these sisters, it started with the sisters because we found out first and foremost that, Tamika on the left, and do they have the same father? I think that's another question that I have, because that could add another element to this whole situation. But nevertheless, Tamika on the left basically accused Latasha on the right of stealing $30,000 from her. She and her husband, Rocky Bivens, who I've talked about here many a times at this point because he's a part of R. Kelly's story. He himself started off in the industry working for R. Kelly. Because of that, we know Rocky Bivens. Rocky Bivens is no good, okay? Anyway, he is Latasha's husband, Svengali, puppet master, whatever you want to call him. He's that and then some. And he, has been at the root of a lot of the issues, it seems, that the girls have been having with Rocky. I'm sorry, with Latasha has been Rocky. And Latasha has been the main dissension, the main piece of she's the main issue when it comes to the problems that the group has. It also had been Candy too in the past, but we're learning that Latasha was really the reason that we, thought Candy was a problem, because she was spreading lies about Candy. What it seemed to boil down to at this point is that Latasha was jealous of Candy. Candy had, on their couple of projects that they had, Candy was the lead singer on most of the songs. Whether she deserved it or not, that's a different question. And I think that's where the problem was. Latasha, I mean, she's clearly very talented, could arguably be the most talented in the group. She and her sister, actually. But for whatever reason, Candy had the lead on almost all of the songs, which Candy pointed out to us herself on her YouTube channel. With Jermaine Dupri, head of So Def, the label y'all were on, as well as his father, and basically everybody in the industry. Let her tell it. So we don't know if that's true or not, but if any of it is true, it could be why Candy got the leads on all those songs, which would piss me off too if I was the better singer, and because of my looks, because Latasha, she was probably 4 times the person she is, meaning in weight. She was a bigger woman, and she probably had so low self-esteem. She already voiced that people were talking about her as if she wasn't there in the room, and calling, the big girl sings good, referring to her as the big girl. And I'm sure that's probably why her mother also kind of caters to her and wants to make sure, that she protects her daughter. It could also have to do with the father. So I don't know. With all that being said, I came across this on Instagram this morning, and I don't know if it's old. I hope it's not. And of course, because I didn't look at the date that it was posted, but it looked like it was today. But it's the girls at Xscape talking about the $30,000 fraud in more detail, and that's the whole issue for me, was that we didn't really have any details. She claimed to have had receipts. I actually, did believe her, just her conviction. And but here we are where seems that we're getting some more details. Okay, and of course, I lost the page. So give me 1 second, y'all, because I don't remember which blog I was on where I saw that. One thing about Instagram, it's gonna take you to a new page when you get back on there. Okay. There's only a couple of them it could have been. 1 second. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. I'm really not finding that. I might have to move on to my next story, child, until I find this thing. What is this? Black China says she loves her mother Tokyo and credits her grandmother for teaching her how to be a lady. Okay. Oh, man. All right. Well, I'll just tell you what they said because I can't find this thing. There's so much about this feud. There's so many different things, tweets, this, that. I'm just ready to put this thing to bed, which is why I wanted to talk about it. So basically, Tiny, they were all talking about it, and it was Latasha. I'm sorry, it was Tamika, who was the one that was robbed. Okay, Tiny and Candy also. They were, so those three are now kind of a trio at this point, and they were on, it looks like a radio station, and they were talking about the fraud situation and explaining that basically Rocky changed the address to where the checks were mailed to their address, and they were cashing the checks. And there was when she asked for a copy of the checks, she saw the fraudulent signature on the back of the checks. So sounds to me somebody was impersonating her in order to cash those checks, which sounds to me it could have been her sister Latasha. Sound to me Rocky passed them checks off to his sister to cash, and maybe the mama was involved too, because for whatever reason the mother wants to help cover the thing up. So the fact that they went through all those means, and these things are can be verified because she was able to obtain the proof. If you go through all of that to fraud someone, that is very intentional. But yeah, this is the sister feud that just won't go away. And once I think, what's her name, Tamika, actually does something, maybe we could finally then put it away. Whether it's a criminal or a civil situation, because I'm kind of looking at Tamika crazy too. You did not address the situation when you found out. It doesn't sound like. Did you just save it because you knew you was about to film a show, or did you find out because of the show? And it could be this too. I have a couple different theories. So they say that it was Tiny's mother who brought it up to Tamika. about, well, you've been getting that the money, the whatever those royalties were from, or I don't know what these things were from, but it was from something where Tamika was unaware that this money had come in. So I remember one of, who was it that said they helped Tamika out financially during that time because she was struggling. And I thought she was married too, by the way. I'm not sure about how long she's been married and all that, but sounds to me like, and she was pregnant at the time too. So it sounds to me like her sister and her brother-in-law were doing this to her, knowing that her situation wasn't a good one, that she was expecting a child. But at the same time, Tamika should have done something, says, yeah, I cannot find that dang thing. But yeah, she should have done something. That's just my opinion. She should have done something sooner. Because at this point, I'm just looking at her like, well, are you coming off of a script on this? Because let me find out if this is scripted, boy. Ooh, I'm going to be mad. And Tamar, I'm including Tamar in this because she jumped on the bandwagon right at the right time. She's trying to promote a single, and and the single is an SWV beat. I think she said she's paying homage to SWV, but it's one of the songs. I don't know if it's a remix, but it's clout chasing at this point, Tamar. I mean, I believe Tamar. I believe her story, but it's like, what's the point in bringing that up right now? And I see, she was asked a question and all that. I get that, but we know those things are planted or scripted. Somebody didn't just randomly come on to Andy of Bravo show and ask Tamar about that one thing that nobody was talking about or remembered. That's crazy. So I'm tired of it, aren't you? I'm tired. I can't speak for you. I would think that you would be too. So yeah, but the details about the having the checks rerouted to a different address and all of this other stuff, like that's just insane. And that to me, and then you want to make me seem like I'm crazy, and then look at the footage too that we've seen. The sister, even outside of the show, she hasn't addressed the accusations. All she wants to say is that, I don't like the way you talk to our mama. I don't like the way she talked to our mama. Till she figures out between her and mama, I don't have nothing to say to her. But what about she accused you of grand larceny at this point? Like, that's crazy. So my plan was to play the clip. If I find the clip, then I'll play the clip. But I'm going to switch over to my next little topic. So I had to watch my time today, y'all. Let me pull this picture up. Because this story right here, I was really shocked to read, actually, about Mark Zuckerberg and the Meta leaders. Meta is the name of the company that owns, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all the rest. I think Facebook too. Yes, please like, share this video, all that. If you're new here, please subscribe if you haven't done so. And yeah. So I came across this story, though, an article. Let me pull it up. Mark Zuckerberg, Meta leaders face human trafficking allegations, child. And this is from Bloomberg Law. This is a very credible source. Oh, now my thing wants to freeze up. The funny thing is, when I was reading this article last night, I found this article and I was like, what is this? Some told me print the thing out because my computer, the page had froze up and things were seemingly weird. Now I'm trying to share the article and it's not letting me pull it up. It's not letting me, it's frozen. So I don't even know if y'all can hear me at this point. So anyway, I did print it out so I don't have to share the screen. So, Mark Zuckerberg and other senior leaders of Meta Platforms Inc. are facing shareholder litigation over claims they spent years ignoring rampant sex trafficking and child exploitation that have flourished on Facebook and Instagram. A group of pension and investment funds filed a shareholder derivative lawsuit in Delaware targeting current and former members of the tech giant's board and management. The suit accuses them of doing nothing despite being well aware that predatory criminal activities are thriving on the company's social media platforms. And these things are put in quotes because they are included in the suit. Well aware predatory criminal activities. In quotes as well, it says for the past decade, Meta's platforms have assisted, supported, and facilitated perpetrators of widespread systemic sex trafficking, human as well trafficking, and child sexual exploitation. Okay, that has occurred on a massive scale on Meta's platforms. The complaint says. Although the board and management have known about this increasing trend, both management and the board have consciously turned a blind eye. Yeah, the allegations represent the latest in a wave of legal challenges confronting Meta, which has faced growing scrutiny from courts, investors, and lawmakers in recent years over its data practices, alleged antitrust violations, and mental health impact on users, particularly children and teens. Andy Stone, a spokesperson for Meta, said Tuesday in a statement provided to Bloomberg Law that the company prohibits, this is in quotes, prohibits human exploitation and child sexual exploitation in no uncertain terms. Of course, what else are they going to say, right? It says the claims in this lawsuit mischaracterize our to combat this type of activity. Our goal is to prevent people who seek to exploit others from using our platform, and we work closely with organizations like Polaris, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and Stop the Traffic to inform these efforts. A partly redacted version of the 201-page suit. Okay. Oh, now it comes up. Okay. This thing, something is going on, child. Hold on, let me see. Okay. I don't know why I let that distract me like that. This thing had popped up on my screen. Okay. Let me get back, child, because this is important. And I didn't see this anywhere else. Okay. I looked on YouTube, Mark Zuckerberg, Meta, something, nothing. Hardly any articles. So this was a 201-page suit that was made public just this past Tuesday. The complaint was, it says the complaint was originally filed under seal on March 8th in Delaware's Chancery Court. And they're calling it an online slave market. It says reports by human rights groups have shown that a majority of sex trafficking takes place online, with the majority of that online trafficking happening on Meta's platforms, according to the complaint. The trafficking activity allegedly includes an online slave market to sell hundreds of Saudi women from Saudi Arabia. Internal company records show that after Apple Inc. threatened to pull Facebook and Instagram from its App Store over the trafficking reports, company leaders privately conceded they'd been underreporting this behavior. Wow. So Apple is actually the hero here who tried to pull no sound again. No sound? Seriously? Okay, let me see. Let me type. See, this is because of the story. It's because of the story, y'all. Mm, hello. Okay, Passion can hear me. Okay. Wayne, it might be you, boo. Because I was thinking it might be the subject matter. Okay. But this is serious. So Apple has come out as a hero in the situation by threatening to pull Facebook and Instagram from the App Store. Like, I don't remember hearing nothing about this. But it says they also acknowledged in internal communications that it says our platform enables all three stages of the human exploitation lifecycle: recruitment, facilitation, and exploitation via complex real world networks, according to the complaint. Okay, our platform enables. So, yeah, they don't want their platform, the iPhone. Oh, thank you, Sheena. Hey, hey, hey. Yes, thank you so much. So, yeah, they don't want their product, their platform, the iPhone, to be the vehicle for these meta companies to be able to help people traffic and um, you know, all of that, human traffic. This is insane to me that this should be all over the news. It says Zuckerberg and other company leaders had ample notice and plenty of time to address the heinous situation, the suit says. Courts in the U.S. have allegedly issued scores of opinions involving trafficking through Facebook and Instagram, while news outlets have published at least 100. Oh, so it is in the news. At least 175 articles, it says, about the cases. Zuckerberg, well, and just because articles are published does not mean they're going to be made public, if you know what I'm saying. Like, even right now, I have like 9 people in here. If I was in some type of beef or drama, I would have 109 people in here. But unfortunately, people people don't want, it's like, it's all kinds of stuff of why, but I don't need to go there. Okay, so they go on to talk about a mass scale. It says, besides Zuckerberg, the complaints nearly 24 targets include Netflix co-founder Reed Hastings, former UK Deputy Prime Minister Nick Clegg, leading Silicon Valley venture capitalist Mark Andreessen and Peter Thiel, and former Meta Chief Operating Officer Sheryl Sandberg, a woman. Mm. The suit accuses them of breaching their fiduciary duty to oversee the company loyally. It cites that the axiom that a Delaware fiduciary cannot be loyal to a Delaware company while causing it to break the law. So they go into a lot of legal talk here about, let me see. Um, Yeah, it says that's especially true when the category of crimes being facilitated involves commercial sex acts induced by force, fraud, coercion, and abuse, including involuntary servitude, peonage, debt bondage, slavery, and child sexual exploitation on a mass scale. The allegations come 3 weeks after Meta's board beat a different pension fund case in the same court. The suit accused the company's leaders of steering it into legal peril by overseeing a business model based on antitrust violations. It target it targeted Meta's acquisitions of Instagram and WhatsApp. Oh, I know WhatsApp is definitely being used for some chat. Okay, so these are pension fund lawsuits, but I mean, is this not criminal? I'm wondering what the outcome would be if they lose this. So they beat the previous case. It says the new complaint was filed by the Employees Retirement System of the state of Rhode Island, the Cleveland Bakers and team and affiliates of Fisher Funds Management Ltd, which identifies itself as New Zealand's largest specialist investment manager. And these people, this is money right here talking. These people are feeling threatened, and they're feeling that their investments are being threatened by the behavior of Meta and of Zuckerberg and the Meta leaders. So the suit is what, trying to dethrone them, trying to, how will they keep their platforms from being able to do what it's been doing, other than change the whole business model altogether. Um, so yeah, it says they're accusing Zuckerberg and other company leaders of negotiating a larger than necessary $5 billion fine with the Federal Trade Commission to keep themselves out of legal crosshairs. Oh, the Federal Trade Commission is taking bribes through via fine, but mm, wow, it says that a data crunching firm used by former President Donald Trump's 2016 campaign. Oh, okay. They don't want to be caught in the crosshairs of that whole situation with Donald Trump and the 2016, and the whole campaign thing with him. He used the platforms for that as well. See, this gets deeper, because it's already deep when it comes to human trafficking. What's up with the whole Saudi women mention here? Wow. These women in the Middle East, man, we think we have it bad. Says Meta's executive and board members can no longer consciously fail to address the rampant sex trafficking, human trafficking, and child sexual exploitation. The funds are represented by grant. Well, they name all these companies and stuff. Okay, so that's that's their legal representation. Rhode Island treasurer. So the Rhode Island treasurer is the one who just spoke on Meta and Zuckerberg's and activities or behaviors. And this, I thought that was illegal. Why aren't these people in handcuffs or in prison at this point, or even undergoing a trial for this stuff? This is this sounds like some type of a business lawsuit. Anyway, Mark Zuckerberg is his name is in here, and he is at the head of this thing, and he should have to have some accountability. They need to figure out a way. They're going to have to shut down these platforms. I mean, how else are they going to stop trafficking and exploitation and of children, other than to shut these things down, or have a big brother watching every single person? I mean, is there anything in between that can be done? I don't know. Hey, Ashanti Dawson, Miss Ashanti Dawson, yes. I don't know, child. Okay, let me move on. That was crazy to me, though. It's still crazy to me. I'm gonna see if I can find any more information, because that was pretty much the end of the article. I'm gonna talk about Marvin Gaye the Third now, though, real quick. I didn't even know there was a Marvin Gaye the Third. I don't, I was a Marvin Gaye. I mean, I don't even know if I was born when he was killed, but I know that his father unalived him, Marvin Gaye Sr., that is. But I definitely have been a fan of his music, since I was introduced to it probably as a child. But Marvin Gaye the Third, he was in the news, child. I think I saw that this morning. I don't know much about him, but what I found out from this is that he is adopted, and he's also violent, and he likes to play with guns. Yeah, Marvin Gaye the Third. I'm gonna tell you what happened to land him in the news. Um, okay, Marvin Gaye the Third. So he recently filed for divorce from his wife, Wendy Gaye, more than 2 months after he was accused of aiming a gun in her direction. Says that he filed for divorce. Let me put Wendy Gaye up here. I don't know. Some of y'all might be shocked to see what she looks like. Some of y'all might not be. Okay, there's Wendy Gaye. I'm reading from an article out of the Daily News. Okay, it says that so he filed for divorce from his wife Wendy Gay just more than 2 months after he was arrested in connection with domestic violence. In January 12th incident at the former couple's Calabasas home after she claimed he aimed a gun at her and physically assaulted her and her female cousin. The 57-year-old son of legendary late Marvin Gaye listed January 12th as the day he was arrested. The day he was arrested as the day of their separation. And this is from TMZ reporting this. It says Wendy subsequently obtained a restraining order in connection with the incident in which she said Gay lifted her off of the ground by her neck and then attacked her female cousin when she tried to separate them. In the wake of the incident, Gay turned himself into authorities and was charged with felony assault with a deadly weapon and misdemeanor domestic violence. It says that Gay was released after posting a bond of $50,000. In legal docs, Gay claimed irreconcilable differences as the cause behind the breakup and requested the court block his estranged wife from receiving spousal support. So he chokes her up, puts a gun on her, and then he says, I don't want to give her any money, and I'm divorcing her because of irreconcilable differences, not because of the fact that I'm a violent piece of shit. But it says a source also told the publication that the marriage between Marvin and Wendy has been rocky, and the two have had ongoing issues for a while now. An emergency protective order was put in place to keep Gay away from the home and family, and law enforcement officials went back to the residence and retrieved 2 firearms. So he had 2 guns in the house that obviously they didn't know about at first, so they had to go back in there and get them. It says the family's lawyer, Gil R. Bell, said his clients are distraught and intend to cooperate fully with law enforcement in pressing charges. Oh, he finna go to jail. You can't mess with guns. They said this is California. Where is this at? When officers arrived at the time they were initially called, they believed Gay was still inside the home and asked him to come outside before neighbors informed them that Gay had left. Officers are then said to have met with Gay's relatives and took an assault report that identified Gay as a suspect. It is not known if anyone was injured. Wow. So they're showing pictures of his dad and his mother. It says Gay's wife, Wendy, was seen assisted by paramedics and police outside of the home after the incident. And this is where we find out that he was adopted by Marvin Gaye and Gaye's wife, Anna Gordy Gay, and that is Berry Gordy's, I think, daughter. It says the pair were wed from 1963 to 1977. The singer was shot and killed unalive by his own father in 1984 when he was 44 years old, while Anna, who was 17 years his senior, died in 2014. She was 17 years older than Marvin? Wow. Okay, she died in 2014 at the age of 92. Wow. So his biological mother, wait a minute, they said he was adopted. It says Gaye the Third's biological mother is Denise Gordy, who is the niece of Anna. Okay, so he's literally in the family. Okay. Denise gave birth to Gaye the Third when she was just 16 years old. Denise has previously said she agreed to give birth to the child because her aunt was unable to conceive. Interesting. Gaye married, so she was older than him. She was probably past the age of, being fertile. It says Gaye married his second wife, Janice, in 1977, and they had 2 children, daughter Nona and son Frankie. Wow, so he's adopted. Then when his dad remarried, he went on and had some more children. And his mother is his I'm confused. The mother's niece. So a relative. He's all up in the head, child, probably. Gaye the Third has largely stayed out of the public eye, but in 2013, he revealed he was suffering from kidney failure and was seeking a donated organ for transplant. He revealed he had been receiving dialysis for renal failure for 3 years and was having trouble finding a suitable kidney for a transplant. Oh, wow, he's having a hard time. He shared his condition publicly to help draw attention to the challenges Black and Hispanic people face when seeking healthy organ donors. In 2015, the family of Marvin Gaye won a lawsuit against Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams for infringing his copyright on the song Blurred Lines. I remember that. Williams and Thicke were ordered to pay $7.4 million. Wow. In a groundbreaking copyright case in which a judge ruled that their composition was a breach of Gaye's copyright for the track Got to Give It Up. Got to give it up. Interesting stuff. I had never heard of Gaye the Third. Marvin Gaye the Third. Like they said, he's been out the limelight and he's obviously been going through a lot of health issues, probably stemming from his internal issues. Because based on his history with his family, the adoption, and all of that stuff, he has been going through a time. Hi, Chrissy Power. Yeah. Right, Sheena? I think, Sheena, you might be talking about the Mark Zuckerberg thing. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was interesting too. Definitely, if you're just coming in, Chrissy, you got to go back in the replay. We talked a little bit about, the Scott sisters and the real details behind that 30K fraud, meaning Xscape, And then we talked about Mark Zuckerberg, and he's in court being sued behind trafficking, human trafficking, sex trafficking, child exploitation. Him and his Meta leaders, his company's leaders, the leaders of the company, allowing this to go on and on and on. But it isn't really them allowing it to go on and on. They beat a case previously. I think the government is the one that has to get involved on this to put a stop to, the way that the platforms are able to not only turn a blind eye to it, but help facilitate it. That's what they say they were doing. They weren't just turning a blind eye. They were also helping to facilitate as well as recruit victims for these crimes. So all that says to me, I know, right, Passion? All that says to me is that, parents, it's going to be up to us, parents and caretakers, to make sure that we have an eye on the kids. And just because they're teenagers doesn't mean that they're safe. So you got to really clamp down, probably a little harder than you might want to, maybe a little tougher you might feel, initially comfortable with, because, everybody's just not a hovering parent, but you have to be. You literally have to be. And even for grown people, young adults, people, all kinds of people get trafficked, all kinds of people. So y'all be careful out there, okay? Stay away from the likes of Marvin Gaye the Third. And, this woman unfortunately didn't get no to this man. Says they had a rocky relationship. Why would you marry him? I know why. Because his last name is Gay. And she probably thought she was going to be able to live a life of luxury, child. And she still might be. She about to put this man in jail. And as his wife, she may have some legal claims to some money, just saying. But listen, I appreciate y'all so much. And yeah, I'll check y'all out on the next one. I'll be in the member channel too, because I got some things to talk about, y'all. These going on in these YouTube streets. And that's where we talk about those things. So make sure you are a member of the channel, and I'll see you back there in the Goddess Lounge. Till then, bye.